Tonight on CTV News, calls for an MLA to step down.
It promotes UNDRIP's blood and soil theory that people with Indigenous ancestry have their own inherent rights.
The Nazi rhetoric used by an independent MLA, Tara Armstrong, the angry backlash and how she's responding.
Why are you against hiring British Columbians to run your campaign?
We better change our mindset into building winning teams if we have any hope of forming government in the next election.
Debate fireworks. 5 BC Conservatives face off, vying to be the next leader of the party.
They've been receiving threats, bullying, intimidation.
Tension and division in the Filipino community a year after the Lapu-Lapu Festival tragedy.
This is CTV News with me, Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. There are growing calls for a BC MLA to resign tonight over comments widely described as disgusting and extremely offensive. Tara Armstrong used language associated with Nazis while arguing against Indigenous legislation. The Premier says she crossed the line, and both Jewish and First Nations groups are demanding she be held to account. Isabella Zavarisi leads us off tonight with the fallout.
Captives taken as slaves, children traded away, even cannibalism, Mr. Speaker.
Just a sample of the comments made by independent MLA Tara Armstrong before using Nazi rhetoric to criticize the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples.
It promotes UNDRIP's blood and soil theory that people with Indigenous ancestry have their own inherent rights, based upon what are described as inextricable links to the land.
Blood and soil is Nazi rhetoric to advance the idea of a pure Aryan race.
We were frankly stunned. She crossed the line.
Nico Slobinski with the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs says Armstrong's comment minimizes the experience of Holocaust survivors.
When someone makes use of those comparisons, they're doing nothing more but damage, and they're actually cheapening the words used to dehumanize Holocaust victims, Holocaust survivors, to score political points.
He wants an apology, but the BC Assembly of First Nations says that doesn't go far enough.
I think apologies not enough. I think she should resign. I think she should be kicked out of the legislature for those types of comments in regards to First Nations or any group in British Columbia. I think that is reprehensible.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
The backlash across party lines was swift.
It should never be used in this chamber, let alone used to describe the inherent rights of Indigenous people in British Columbia. Disgusting.
It's an incredibly dark day here at the BC legislature.
The Premier and BC Conservative interim leader Trevor Halford equally critical. Armstrong eventually withdrew her comments, but has since posted the nearly 15-minute-long speech to social media. The BC Greens have now tabled a censure motion, and it's already gaining support.
She should be paying the consequences of it, and that's what we see here.
In a statement to CTV News, Armstrong doubled down. She did not say sorry, insisting instead David Eby should be the one to apologize. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
The race for a new leader of the BC Conservative Party is heating up. Tonight, 5 candidates went head-to-head in a leadership debate at a Conservative movement event in downtown Vancouver. CTV's Kevin Chirac has more from the Park Hotel, where the debate has just wrapped up. Kevin, how did it go?
Well, Mijung, this marked the first debate featuring all 5 candidates. It went for about 90 minutes long. It was a massive crowd inside, standing room only. It just wrapped up. The candidates tackled a range of issues, ranging from the economy to the overdose crisis and Indigenous rights, all of them vying to lead the party past the NDP. Local businessman Yuri Fulmer, MLA Peter Millibar, political commentator Caroline Elliott, former federal cabinet minister Carrie Lynn Finley, and former BC Liberal MLA Ian Black are all seeking to lead the party into its next chapter with the goal of forming government. While the candidates are ultimately on the same team, things did get personal early and often.
How can you stand up for BC if you share the NDP's view that BC is illegitimate?
I've honestly admitted since day one that I've done land acknowledgements. Caroline, if you're at the last debate, you would have heard me say that.
You're lucky I wasn't. When Kevin Falcon led that party that Ms. Elliott and Mr. Millibar were part of, they brought us SOGI, DRIPA, safe supply, decriminalization of hard drugs, and they condemned the Freedom Convoy. You remember that?
Thank you. If we get too far down this path, we're going to be offering up news clips that are going to bite us in the backside in the months to come. And we got to remember who our enemy is in this particular competition.
He was right about the news clips. The debate was divided into two parts, the future of conservatism and the vision for BC. The leadership contest comes at a pivotal moment for the BC Conservatives. In the 2024 election, the party gained an unprecedented 44 seats, nearly forming government. But that followed with internal conflict and dysfunction that saw multiple MLAs leave the caucus, ultimately leading to the resignation of former leader John Rustad. And that is why we are here today with this candidates debate. Only registered members of the BC Conservative Party can vote. That deadline passed last week. Party officials tell me more than 42,000 people have signed up. The voting is set to begin May 23rd, and a new candidate, a new leader, will be announced on May 30th. Mi Jung, we'll send it back to you.
Kevin Chirac reporting live in downtown Vancouver. It is early in the season, but BC's wildfire season is heating up with around 20 wildfires burning right now, 7 of them starting in the last 24 hours. The most concerning fire is burning in the Caribou, where 10 properties are under evacuation alert. CTV's Lauren Pullen is following this in the Breaking News Center. Lauren, what's the latest?
Well, Mi Jung, that fire is burning out of control tonight. It's about 200 kilometers southwest of Williams Lake, and those nearby residents under evacuation alert are being urged to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Another fire causing concern tonight is burning off the side of the Trans-Canada Highway north of Hope near Hell's Gate. There is no threat to homes, but it could have impact on highway travel, with officials having to close down lanes as they continue to fight the flames. And BC Wildfire is cautioning there is an increased wildfire risk for the South Coast through the weekend.
We have a drying conditions, increase in temperatures, and then very dry air, which is lowering our humidity. This is pretty much happening in the entire of the Coastal Fire Center. So that's why we did put out a release yesterday regarding asking folks to be extremely cautious, especially over this outflow period over the next, say, 2 to 3 days.
73 wildfires have started in our province since the beginning of April, and there are now open fire bans in place in both the Caribou and the Northwest fire centers. Meech.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on those. Thank you, Lauren. And now let's take a look at our camera from Grouse Mountain, looking down at downtown Vancouver and English Bay. Plenty of blue skies. It was another toasty day. It's a mixed blessing, this dry spring, isn't it?
Very dry. We've only seen about 25 millimeters, so well below the seasonal average for April. And it's going to continue that way as we head into the weekend. Right now, we are seeing a pretty balmy temperatures, 19 degrees in Chilliwack, 17 in Abbotsford. You're looking at 18 degrees in Pitt Meadows, 17 right now at the harbor as well. So as we head into the weekend, clear and calm conditions once again. Temperatures between 15 and 16 degrees near the water, 18 and 19 degrees further inland, under sunny skies for both Saturday and Sunday. So great patio weather. But as we finish off the month of April, the next week is looking dry as well. Those details coming up.
Yeah, it feels like summer even though we're still in April.
Exactly.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
The CEO of tech company OpenAI has issued a letter apologizing to the community of Tumbler Ridge for its lack of action taken in February's tragedy. Sam Altman released this statement yesterday to the community. In it, he writes, "I am deeply sorry that we did not alert law enforcement to the account that was banned in June. Prior to the shooting, OpenAI had flagged activity by the shooter with ChatGPT, but failed to report those concerns to the police." Altman says OpenAI will be focused on working with all levels of government to make sure a similar tragedy like this never happens again. This week, we have been examining the far-reaching impact of the Lapu-Lapu Festival attack. Tonight, we focus on the Filipino community, whose festival was rocked by the deadliest attack the city has ever seen. While the community has come together to heal Anger and resentment have also risen to the surface. CTV's Shannon Patterson reports.
At Mountain View Cemetery in Vancouver, there's a memorial for the 11 people killed in the Lapu-Lapu Day attack last April. Their names spelled out on a tapestry alongside a flag of the Philippines.
It struck right across people who were there to celebrate and share culture and heritage, but especially so for the Filipino community.
In the weeks and months following the deadliest attack in the city's history,
people sought to be with each other. And, you know, a lot of people would say, like, right now I can't be alone with my thoughts. I want to be with others. And so we set up, you know, these spaces for people to be able to gather together.
The Filipino community and the broader community really came together through that terrible tragedy to support. You know, we saw unity and solidarity and an outpouring of love and compassion.
But there's also been anger and resentment. Some survivors and their families protested outside Filipino BC's Day of Remembrance this past Sunday, furious at the organization for holding an event a week before the one-year anniversary of the attack and how money from the United Way's Capwa Strong Fund has been spent.
I was also there with these are people who lost their family members, who were killed, who were gravely injured, and were frustrated.
I mean, unfortunately, like, things have boiled over to the point where the misinformation that's out there, you know, is impacting our, you know, volunteers, our staff, our vendors. You know, they've been receiving threats, bullying, intimidation.
The chair of Filipino BC believes the anger should be directed at Mabel Elmore's own government for not stepping up to provide more money for survivors.
The long-term help should be coming from the government, should be coming from these organizations that were built specifically to provide this care for those that have been injured.
So the province is, in terms of the ongoing support around income replacement, respite, funding for counseling, so that's ongoing.
For some survivors who have life-changing injuries, it's not nearly enough.
Anger is certainly still felt by many. I hope everyone finds their peace. I hope everybody you know, can gather at the next Lapu-Lapu Day event and be able to celebrate, but still look back and honor kind of what led us to that point and to never forget what happened.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Ottawa gives a green light to Enbridge's $4 billion natural gas pipeline expansion in BC, a move applauded by the Premier. And
it's such a great way of getting dollars into our cities when we really need it.
Cruising into one of the busiest years ever for the industry. What's steering the surge in tourism? When CTV News at 6 continues. Stay with us. Now to what's expected to be a record-breaking year for the cruise ship season. The terminal is celebrating 40 years, and thanks to Disney ships, more overseas tourists and Canadians vacationing in their own country, the industry is expected to boom. CTV's Chris Wiggins has the story.
This is the Norwegian Bliss, one of the largest ships that can fit under the Lions Gate Bridge. And over there, Holland America's Eurodam. Both here as Vancouver celebrates the 40th anniversary of the very first cruise ship at Canada Place Terminal.
It's that stunning natural beauty and signature world-class hospitality that we have here that continues to draw people to visit Vancouver and British Columbia.
The new season is officially underway, and this summer the city is bracing for one of its busiest cruise ship years yet, with multiple vessels scheduled to visit downtown almost every day throughout the summer. In peak season from early May through late September, officials say 40 to 50,000 passengers will pass through this terminal every weekend. Today's captain of the Eurodam, Jeroen van Donselaar, was actually a cadet on the first ship that docked here in 1986.
We had so much fun. We ate hamburgers on the world's first floating McDonald's. And one afternoon we even saw Bryan Adams perform, so it was just amazing.
40 years later, and the captain still has high praise for Vancouver.
The lay of the land here, if you look behind you, the beautiful mountains with the snow on it still, and in this side here, amazing world-class city, great restaurants, lots of things to do for people pre-cruise and post-cruise.
Fast forward to 2026, and all those cruise ships are expected to be a huge boom for the local economy. An estimated 1.4 million travelers coming to the city. Of course, throw in the World Cup and all that business, and it's bound to bring a whole lot of people and a whole lot of traffic.
I do think that I'm biased, obviously, but I do think that the benefits outweigh, and it's such a great way of getting dollars into our cities when we really need it.
And she's right. We will get it. Every cruise ship brings an estimated $3 million into the local economy. Chris Wiggins, CTV News, Vancouver.
A Kelowna couple is devastated as RCMP continue to search for their food trailer that was stolen just weeks ahead of their business launch. The trailer was taken from a fenced compound on Highway 97 in the early hours of April 12th. It belongs to the pasta station, which was planning to open for business next month. The couple say they are now left with an outstanding loan of $75,000 and have invested another $90,000 into the business. Police are urging anyone with information on the stolen trailer to contact Kelowna RCMP. Families of children with autism gathered outside the office of BC's Family Development Minister today, demanding their voices be heard.
This is a really vulnerable population, and taking away their funding means that they will not have access to things like counseling, occupational therapy, speech-language pathology. And this is even worse for children in rural areas because they don't have service centres in their communities.
Families say they are concerned after the province announced a new disability funding model would be replacing the current autism funding unit. They say the new system will leave thousands of kids with autism receiving less or possibly no individualized funding. Parents say they're even more alarmed now as the changes are going ahead without a child well-being plan. The autism funding unit is slated to shut down in March of next year. The City of Vancouver and the BC Indigenous Housing Society are celebrating the opening of a new affordable homes building named after a former chief.
Collectively in unity, this is what can happen, this beautiful building. And so I'm very humbled and honored that you've named the building after my late father. But more importantly, I'm very excited for the ones that are going to call this home.
The Chief Leonard George building is located in the Grandview Woodland area, replacing a property that burned in 2017. The 9-story mass timber building offers 81 affordable homes ranging from studios to 4-bedroom units constructed using sustainable materials. This project is part of a $19 billion housing investment by the province. Pierre Poilievre says Ottawa's gas tax break for the summer isn't enough. How long he thinks the tax holiday should last. Also ahead.
This expansion ensures British Columbia has enough gas to supply.
Ottawa approves a $4 billion pipeline expansion in BC, a move applauded by the Premier but slammed by environmentalists. That's ahead. The federal government has approved a $4 billion expansion of Enbridge's West Coast pipeline in BC called the Sunrise Expansion. It is intended to increase capacity through the existing natural gas pipeline system. The company says the project is shovel-ready, and the Liberals are touting it as another big project approval. But as CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, the pitch predates Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Today, Enbridge's $4 billion BC natural gas pipeline expansion got the green light, adding capacity and fortifying a West Coast liquefied natural gas project.
This expansion ensures British Columbia has enough gas to supply an LNG export facility like Woodfibre LNG, which will be the first net zero LNG export facility in the world.
The project will add approximately 140 kilometers of new pipeline by constructing 11 pipeline looping segments parallel to the existing line.
Well, it's pretty small, relatively speaking. So 300 million cubic feet a day is, in the context of what we do in Western Canada, is probably 16 or 18 billion cubic feet a day of gas production right now.
Construction will begin this summer, and the government says the expansion is set to add more than $3 billion to Canada's GDP, generate more than $700 million in tax revenue, and create 2,500 jobs, including for local Indigenous communities.
I think this comes at an important time. There's a lot of economic uncertainty in the world, and Canada's economy needs these kinds of jobs.
In a statement, Enbridge's CEO said, "We're excited about the role this project will play in increasing economic prosperity and energy security." But critics say this expansion took far too long to approve, given the Liberals' promise of record speed, and that in the future, major projects need to start moving way faster.
There have been lots of announcements, lots of press releases, lots of news coverage about bureaucratic busy work, but not a lot of results.
Canada's energy regulator greenlit the project with 47 binding conditions related to environmental protection, safety, and Indigenous engagement. It's expected to be operational by 2028. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Pierre Poilievre is calling for the elimination of gas taxes for the remainder of the year. The Conservative leader indicated that Mark Carney's temporary suspension of the federal excise tax is not enough.
Under his plan, Canadians are forced to continue to pay 15 cents per litre every time they gas up, even during this short-term suspension of the excise tax. Conservatives, by contrast, want to get rid of all three taxes.
Poilievre wants to see the excise tax on gas and diesel removed for the entire year instead of just from April 20th to September 7th. He also wants to get rid of the carbon tax and the GST on fuel. The Conservatives say that would save Canadians $1,200 for the remainder of the year, $20 for each fill-up and 25 cents per litre. A stressful time for travelers as the jet fuel crisis puts dream vacations at risk. Will travel insurance protect you? Also ahead, spring is looking pretty wild in Alberta, from windstorms in Calgary to heavy snowdrifts that stranded drivers for hours. That's ahead.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch. Evening sun shining through the cherry blossoms on East 22nd and Prince Edward in East Vancouver.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
Anything that wasn't tied down in Calgary today was probably blown away. That includes this trampoline that got swept away from someone's yard. Gusts were close to 90 km an hour, causing problems throughout the city. A wind warning is in effect for Calgary. Today, trees were knocked down, building materials were scattered everywhere, and garbage was tossed about. Here's CTV's Tyler Barrow with more on the spring windstorm.
Wind damage has swept through the city, wreaking havoc on homes, blowing over bins, and knocking down power lines. Here in the northeast Rundle neighborhood, much of a home's roof was shredded by the severe wind. One neighbor just getting out of the shower as it happened.
Looked out the window and saw lumber and couldn't figure out what was going on. I looked up to find that my neighbor's roof was completely torn off.
Fire crews responded to 225 wind-related calls. No injuries were reported. Gusts reaching up to 90 kilometers an hour, knocking over this tower in the Sunridge London Drugs parking lot. Half of this vehicle's roof gone. And here's this bad bounce as a trampoline was blown off a property by the heavy gusts, while airline passengers were just hoping for a smooth landing.
Quite bumpy coming through, lots of drops forwards and up and downs and what have you.
Rough flight, like all the way here, like once we got into the Alberta border, but landing was definitely very rough.
No flights were impacted by strong winds, according to airport officials. Here at the Peace Bridge, the windy weather kept many at home. Some wouldn't let it get to them.
I'm cold, but it's good fun. That's why I keep running, so I won't hang about, but it's great.
As some homes suffered significant damage, the Insurance Bureau of Canada says this is the start of severe weather season, and wind is covered.
Over the next few days, if you do have damage, reach out to your insurance provider, start that claims process so they can get an adjuster assigned.
And it's not just heavy winds hammering Alberta. Parts of the province are also dealing with snow.
The weather just turned completely for the worse. It was full whiteout conditions.
A late season blast of winter is sweeping through the province, causing chaos on the roads, with about 300 vehicles getting stuck for hours on a highway north of Edmonton. A number of snowfall warnings are in effect across the province. Despite being in late April, it is still looking and feeling a lot more like the dead of winter for our neighbors. Wow. See, I just took off my snow tires today. In Alberta, you do have to keep them on maybe a little longer.
Yeah, you can keep them on pretty much through June, and you can expect to see some snow as well. So I guess this is why we call ourselves the West Coast is the best coast, because today it was spectacular. Blue skies, sunshine. This is what it looks like from our camera on Grouse Mountain. Looking towards downtown Vancouver, a little hazy out there, but for the most part, mostly sunny skies. Right now, we're sitting at 16 degrees outside under clear conditions. A little bit of a breeze from the south-southwest at 11 kilometers an hour, all thanks to this huge ridge of high pressure dominating pretty much the whole province, keeping things dry and keeping most of the province under blue skies and sunshine. As we head into tomorrow to kick off the weekend, pretty calm on the south coast. We'll see some high cloud around, but blue skies will prevail, and calm conditions will also prevail as we head through the day tomorrow, right through until tomorrow night. So here's how everything will play out. By 9 o'clock tonight, we'll see 11 degrees, clear conditions, calm at midnight at 10 degrees. And tomorrow we'll start off the day at 8 o'clock with sunny skies and 10 degrees. Come noon, we'll reach 14 degrees with a westerly breeze at 13 kilometers an hour. Inland temperatures will reach 19 degrees come 3 o'clock, when we see a high of 15 degrees near the water. It'll continue to stay at 15 with mostly sunny skies at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Lots of sunshine in store for this southern interior as well. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. 15 degrees under mostly sunny skies for Port Hardy tomorrow, warming up to 20s under a mix of sun and cloud for Campbell River and Comox. For the South Island, a few clouds for Tofino and Port Alberni, with temperatures between 15 and 21. Clear and calm from Nanaimo right down to Victoria, temperatures between 16 and 20 degrees. Sunny skies for the Sunshine Coast and 17. Mostly sunny skies and warmer up the Sea to Sky Highway. 20 for Squamish, cooler in Whistler at 15. And for us across the Lower Mainland, we're looking at temperatures between 15 degrees near the water, 19 degrees further inland. Mostly sunny skies on Sunday as well. On Monday, a mix of sun and cloud and 15 degrees. Same goes for Tuesday, but look at Wednesday. Inland temperatures will reach 22 degrees, 18 near the water. And on Thursday, we'll see a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 20. So April showers not in sight at all.
No, it's been such a dry April, but not too many people complaining. I don't
Not
think.
at all.
All right, thanks, Anne. New details tonight on how many American doctors are choosing to move north. Ontario is seeing a sharp jump, with close to 600 U.S.-trained physicians registering to work in that province last year, many in Ottawa. CTV's Leah LaRocque reports.
It's a walk to work that's starting to feel more like home for Dr. Jennifer Carnahan.
I think Ottawa is an amazing city.
The American doctor, originally from Indiana, moved here to take a new job at the Ottawa Hospital in geriatric medicine in February.
A lot of what we have to do in the United States is learn the health insurance system very well so that we are able to secure the best resources for our patients.
After years of working in the American private healthcare system, frustration was growing. On top of that, a rapidly changing political situation under the Trump administration.
It may sound a little bit extreme to say, but it did start to feel like health services research, medicine, science. It did start to feel like that was starting to come under attack.
She looked up north and found opportunity.
The Ottawa Hospital is very well known internationally.
The Ottawa Hospital says among the international recruits over the past 3 years, nearly 60% have been from the United States, totaling 22 physicians. In 2025, 570 U.S. physicians registered to work in Ontario. That's a 174% increase compared to 2024. The Ministry of Health says they've taken action by making it easier for U.S. licensed nurses and physicians to move to and practice in Ontario.
Is that there's a very different ethos of care here.
Carnahan says there are even social network groups growing of American doctors who are interested in moving to Canada.
In terms of the burden on time, it's actually kind of a luxury. I used to have to see, I think, at least twice as many patients, maybe 3 times as many in the same time period.
Leah LaRocque, CTV News.
BC isn't doing it, but Ontario is protecting ticket buyers from being gouged by resellers. We'll explain. Also ahead.
I definitely will not make this mistake again. I will make sure I am double and triple covered.
The jet fuel crisis has many travelers on edge. It's not just the flights they're worried about. And what will cancellation insurance actually cover? That's ahead. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 73 cents to the American dollar. Oil down $1.45, closing the day around 94 US a barrel. Gold gained nearly $17 on the day. The TSX lost 8 points. The Dow Jones lost 79 points on the day. New changes are coming to the Vancouver Aquarium. The attraction is moving to a fully cashless model starting next month. The aquarium will only accept electronic payments, including debit, credit, and mobile options like Apple Pay. Officials say the move will speed up transactions and make things more secure. For those who still bring cash, there will be on-site kiosks to load money onto a prepaid card. Cryptocurrency will not be accepted. Ticketmaster Canada is moving to cap resale prices starting next week, at least in Ontario. In a statement, the company says it supports that province's new legislation, which will cap resale prices at the ticket's face value. The company says it has delisted resale tickets on its platform, and sellers will be able to relist them next week in compliance with the new law. Ticket buyers are welcoming the change.
I feel like it keeps the integrity of these events. Like if people resell for more, it's kind of just like taking away from people who really enjoy those kind of events like sports and concerts, whatever have you.
It's something that should be so much more accessible than it is.
The government says the amendments are aimed at protecting people, but some experts say it will be difficult to enforce and could push fans to unregulated sites with little buyer protection. It's no surprise tickets to the World Cup are a hot commodity, but some resellers are raising eyebrows with their asking prices. One seller listed tickets to the final match in New Jersey for more than $2,200,000. They are Category 1 seats behind the goal and near exits, but way off what other seats in that area are going for, in the range of $16,000 or closer to the pitch, $24,000. These seats are for sale on the official reseller platform, FIFA Marketplace. Ticket holders can ask whatever they like, but that doesn't mean they'll get it. The jet fuel crisis has canceled thousands of flights worldwide and has many travelers worried about how much money they could lose and whether or not insurance will help protect them. CTV's Jean-Ved Beauchemin has the story.
Stephanie Hallett-Lamoureux booked a dream Baltic family cruise 2 years ago. Now she worries the jet fuel crisis will scrub her flight plans.
I know that Air Canada will give us our money back, but the cruise, no, they won't.
Airlines are responsible for the flights, but not bus tours, cruises, and some travel insurance policies cover those costs, says expert Martin Firestone.
They don't make their cruise. They don't get to their Airbnb rental. They make a claim. They submit the receipts. They get reimbursed. That's now not going to be the way it's going to go.
The jet fuel crisis is now a known cause, and so policies purchased from now on, says Firestone, may not cover events linked to that reason.
You have to be wise enough to figure out your schedule and itineraries to give yourself the days you're going to need if it doesn't leave on the day it was supposed to.
Those who booked prior to the unprecedented crisis could also face roadblocks. Most policies have a war exclusion that voids insurance claims linked to conflicts, and insurers could potentially consider the jet fuel crisis a related cost of the war in the Middle East.
Call the insurer. The policy wording, sometimes it's hard to understand.
CA travel insurance expert Nadia Goyette says checking what your private, group, or credit card insurance covers is key. They may all be very different.
You saved up to pay for that trip from a long time. You don't want to have that all ruined.
L'Amoureuse says all she can do now is hope the flight will take off.
I definitely will not make this mistake again. I will make sure I am double and triple covered.
Experts say it's crucial that travelers understand what their policies cover, but also that they seek advice when necessary and that they pack their patience when they head out on trips now. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Vancouver's bar scene is in the international spotlight. 4 local spots making the cut for the North America 50 Best Bar Awards. The Kiefer Bar in Chinatown placed 7th overall and was crowned the top bar in Canada.
It was a very emotional moment. All my staff and myself included were buckled at the knees and in a very proud moment, and it was a very happy time.
Kiefer Bar staff say it's the hospitality and great service that keeps people coming back. Other Vancouver bars making the top 50 were June on Cambie, Prophecy, and Botanist. The return of the Richmond Night Market, a big Earth Day celebration, and the final home game for the Golden Eyes. We've got the Friday feel-goods after the break, plus finding joy. Adam finds out what happened when a Comox Valley senior started doing something she hadn't done in decades. Coming up on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's Yasmin with a preview of your morning, Vancouver.
The push for public grocery stores. Monday on Your Morning Vancouver, could the move really make food more affordable? And what would it look like? Plus more on the Canadian Blood Services campaign to raise awareness about the need for organ donors. Carrie's back after the weekend. See you Monday.
Can you lower the lights for me, please?
Okay, but remember.
Awaited musical biopic is tracking towards a big first weekend at the box office. Michael tells the story of the rise of Michael Jackson to music stardom. Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson, takes on the role of his late uncle. Deadline reports the movie brought in $12.6 million U.S. during previews across North America, with strong ticket sales abroad. The film's story ends prior to the period in which Jackson faced sexual abuse allegations. The first ever champions of the Northern Super League begin their quest to defend their title tonight as Vancouver Rise FC opens up their season at home. Sporting director Stephanie Labbe stopped by Your Morning Vancouver today and says tonight is a rematch of last season's final where the Rise topped Toronto to claim the Diana B. Matheson Cup.
I think last year, in the regular season, we won 2, they won 2, and we tied 1. So it was a really back and forth matchup between them. And then obviously we came away with the championship win. So I think being able to celebrate the championship with our fans tonight is probably going to put Toronto a little bit on their toes and ready to come at us, as we'll be rubbing a bit of salt in the wound. But I know it'll be a battle tonight, and both teams are going to be ready to go.
Kickoff at Swangard Stadium in Burnaby is just minutes away. Well, you've hit the jackpot of life if you have a really good friend by your side for this moment.
$80 million!
Longtime pals Greg and Chris from London, Ontario won the $80 million jackpot, plus an additional $403,000 prize for the combination play option. This is Canada's largest ever lottery payout. Greg and Chris met decades ago in an English as a second language class after immigrating from Europe. They've been playing the lottery for years and only buy tickets when the jackpot
when it comes to
is
Canada,
high.
We'll be their new friends if they want.
I know. It's very convenient when friends are both multimillionaires, right? Yeah,
exactly.
They have the same lifestyle now. Yeah. All right, it's time for Friday Feel Goods, a weekly roundup of unique events happening in Metro Vancouver. Here are 3 things worth checking out. The Richmond Night Market is back and ready to welcome visitors from around the world. The Sky Rush zip line and mega pinball duck race are back by popular demand. And this year you can enjoy an all-day happy hour on every opening night with cheap food and drinks. And for you night owls, admission is just $5 if you come after 10 p.m. The Richmond Night Market runs until September the 20th.
That's an hour after my bedtime.
I haven't been for a long time, but I hear it is very crowded, very popular.
Yes, but very fun now that there's a zip line. All right, well, BC's largest Earth Day celebration returns to Surrey Civic Plaza on Saturday. Now in its 15th year, Party for the Planet is a free, family-friendly event all about embracing sustainability in a fun way. Live music, food trucks, a plant sale, and a free rock climbing wall and kids craft zone will be all available for everyone to enjoy. Party for the Planet 2026 runs from 11 until 7 on Saturday.
Looks like fun.
It's not that often that you can have such a great event and it's free.
Exactly.
This is true.
And sunny.
A 2-on-1. Sam Escavich. She's got chance. Scores!
And you can head on down to Pacific Coliseum as the Vancouver Golden Eyes wrap up their inaugural season on Saturday against the Minnesota Frost. It is also the Golden Eyes Pride Celebration game featuring local organizations connecting the LGBTQ+ community with sport. Puck drop for the season finale is at 4 p.m. And I've been to a couple games this season. Oh, they are a blast.
Good energy, good mood in the audience.
Yes.
Your niece loves it, right?
Loves it.
All right, thanks. Well, if you have any events you'd like us to highlight, email your tips to CTVFeelGoods at CTV.ca. We'll get to the Sawatsky sign-off in just a minute, but first, Lauren, what's coming up tonight?
Well, Mijang, we will have a full wrap from tonight's Conservative leadership debate with a deeper dive on the hot topics and the pitches from candidates. And as we do head into another warm weekend, wildfire concerns are heating up. We will be continuing to track the wildfire situation as officials are warning British Columbians to be extra cautious with this hot, dry weather.
All right, thanks, Lauren. Finally, Adam finds out how a Comox Valley woman discovered the positive potential of teddy bears and tree blossoms, and how a simple act of kindness blossomed into something much bigger on tonight's Sawatsky sign-off.
And I like this one.
After she lost the love of her life,
This is really a sweet one.
Anna Fenty found life hard to love.
You know, down and out.
While she kept busy inside with her crocheting and point painting, it took a while before Anna considered all the possibilities outside.
I wanted to enjoy what years I have left and not sitting on the, can I use the word, pity pot.
And then, during one of her daily walks,
Look at all the blossoms on there.
Anna felt inspired to do what she hadn't done in decades.
Isn't that fun? It's just like being a little kid, you know?
Which brings us to that bear she's been holding. One of a few Anna found at a thrift store.
And I fell in love with them, and I thought, well, if I can fall in love with them, so can the children, you know?
So Anna bought a bunch of bears, brought a couple to her favorite coffee shop, and offered them to a bus driver she recently befriended to give them to any kids who could use a cuddle.
I thought it was a beautiful idea. I was honored.
So JD placed them on the dashboard of his bus before giving the first bear to this girl with her dad.
And they were full of gratitude, and they took it with a warm heart.
And then asked a group of teenagers if anyone had a mom in need of a bear.
And this one boy raised up his hand. He said, mine does. And all the other kids pointed at him.
Because they said his mom was recovering in hospital.
Fantastic.
Leaving JD inspired.
Always treat people with empathy and kindness and respect.
And Anna, so elated, she bought even more bears to give away.
If you do something for somebody else, which makes you feel good, your loneliness goes kind of out the back door. I love it.
And now, unlike the trees that only shower flowers on her in the spring, Anna has discovered how joy can bloom all year round.
Just live a plain life and be the best you can be to other people.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Comox.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Yeah, well, a lot of the cherry blossoms are falling now on their own, right? And they look so pretty.
Yeah, the pink snow is always the best kind of snow. Everybody,
teddy bears, everyone loves teddy bears.
A real warm fuzzy.
Exactly. Albertans need to come here to see our kind of snow, not the kind of snow that they're dealing with.
Pink snow.
Yes. All right, speaking of pink, check out our scenic snapshot for tonight. Pretty pink and purple sky in Pender Harbor on the Sunshine Coast. Thanks, William, for sending this beautiful photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And Anne, happy early birthday. For Anne's birthday tomorrow. Cold plunge celebration, right?
Come on down.
All right, thanks for joining us. Lauren's back tonight at 11:30.
Good night.